Why don't you film in 4K? That's because there's a 99% chance that you're not watching it in 4K either, dude. Jaime, you look like my teacher from school who's teaching history. Funny, I don't think your teacher's that ugly, man. So is he Jaime Rivera or Aime Rivera? And take a wild pick. That's right, it's that time of the week. I am Jaime Rivera. This is Pocket Now, and this is the Pocket Now Daily Recap for last week. So on Monday, I asked you, in your opinion, which is the best smartwatch design, because we saw some leaked schematics of the then iWatch, which eventually turned up to be the Apple Watch. We have 697 comments, out of which Abdul says, I don't care, round or square, I want better battery. I would go for the Razer Nabu, or, well, whatever that is. But anyways, you are so right. Honestly, it's come to the point where I don't really care if that thing is round or square. What I want is great battery life, and no smartwatch, with the exception of the Pebble, has figured that one out. And Kelvin Vaya says, round, 2-day battery life, leather strap, and works with every phone. Just in case Apple somehow manages to surprise me. And well, that was before the Apple Watch was announced, and now it'll only work with iPhones. And how can you survive with 2 days of battery on a watch, dude? And Laser Lens says, I want a perfectly round smartwatch with enormous bezels, but it looks like not even Apple can figure that one right. And you're right, I'm not really a fan of the Apple Watch's design, but I rarely am until I actually hold things. Then on Tuesday, I asked you, what were you getting, the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus, as Apple had just announced the products, and there was a lot of pandemonium over what we saw. We have 1,559 comments. Thanks a lot, guys. That's a lot. Andres says, I'm still staying with the iPhone 4S, which is the same camera as the 6, LOL. And the Apple Watch, damn it, I hate the name. Should have called it iWatch. And $350 is fine, but I'll wait for the European prices. And no, the camera on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 5S are not the same as in the iPhone 4S. It's significantly different, dude, and trust me, I still have these phones, so you should give it a try. But then again, the Apple Watch price tag is not really that bad. I'm just not a fan of a lot of the things that we're getting here and what we're not getting. And Darian says, I don't like the look of the iPhone 6, disappointment, and you know a lot of people aren't. I was disappointed with the look of the iPhone 5 until I held it, so I'm waiting to hold the iPhone 6 to give you my opinion. And Eric Melendez says, I'm going to get the 4.7 and 64 gig iPhone 6, and yeah, that's a good option. Not too big, not too small, not too little storage, not too much. That's a good option. Then on Wednesday, I asked you, what did you prefer, Google Voice or Hangouts, as the news are that Google is already merging both services. We have 356 comments, out of which Amr says, Hangouts is great, especially with the Chrome extension on the desktop, and yeah, a lot of people do like Hangouts. I'm not on that list. Then Amir says, Google Voice, of course, but I don't see anything wrong with having two apps at once, and that's really my point. Why merge things with Hangouts? Hangouts is convoluted on its own. Then Dallas says, yeah, I'm really interested on what you hate about Hangouts. Okay, let me try to make this simple. Number one, a convoluted UI if you want to use it for more than one user, which is our case here at Pocket Now. The second, the fact that notifications arrive probably 10 minutes later, which is terrible. And then the third, the fact that you get Hangout invites from people you have no clue who they are. And the process is just so, but that's my opinion. I know a lot of people like them. Then on Thursday, I asked you, do you prefer the Microsoft brand or would you prefer any other brand, as the news are that Microsoft is ditching Nokia. They're ditching Windows Phone and they're making everything Microsoft. We have 552 comments, out of which David Thomas says, I hope someone buys the Nokia name. It is legendary name in cell phones. The Nokia 3310 is still the greatest non-smartphone ever. Almost indestructible, and no, it is not almost indestructible. It is indestructible, dude. I think I still have one in a drawer, but yeah. It is too bad. The Nokia brand still exists. Only thing that Microsoft bought was the handset division, so yeah, the brand is still going to exist, sadly not with smartphones, which is really sad news as well. Then Edge says, Microsoft desperation plus is my suggestion. True, a lot of desperation here. And then Evan C says, if you don't say Apple phone, I don't think you should say Microsoft phone, and my God, this is probably the best comment of the week. We don't, Microsoft phone, Microsoft, small and software, what does that have to do with a phone? The same way Apple has nothing to do with a phone. The brands are just not necessary, and I like the fact that Apple looks for ways for their products like the Mac to only be called the Mac and for the iPod to only be called the iPod. I don't really want to call this my Microsoft phone, but hey, that's my opinion, and I'm sure yours as well. And finally, on Friday, I asked you if Android applications would make you want to buy a Chromebook, as Google is already testing Android applications on Chrome, which is great. We have 545 comments, out of which Aiden says, why get a Chromebook when you can get a Windows 8 tablet, not great specifications, and it will run Windows apps and Android via a program and get all Android applications? Mainly because a lot of people just want to buy one computer, and the Chromebooks are extremely affordable, so the app ecosystem of Android plus Chromebook pricing would make them really compelling, meaning you wouldn't need to buy a Windows computer. And another commenter says all Android applications and games, if feasible, should be on Chrome OS computers, and I agree with you. There is no purpose to buy a Chromebook right now, really, because nothing runs on it except for Chrome extensions and applications, and when you have such a vast ecosystem from Android, it makes no sense for these things not to talk to each other if you have the same processing power from Android running on Chrome. Then TechX Software says, no, why buy a Chromebook if you could just run Chrome OS in a virtual machine for free on a PC or Mac? There is really no point in running Chrome OS on a Mac. What can you do better on Chrome OS than on OS X or on Windows? The purpose of this is really the fact that you wouldn't need to buy these products, that all you would need is a Chromebook. And that's really the case. I mean, for $200, $250 for a Chromebook, it really makes no sense to buy a Mac, and I really do feel that this is the way for Google to boost their market share. That's it for a Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you very much for watching. A couple of tips if you want your comments to be featured. Number 1, keep them short. Number 2, stick to the point. Number 3, try to get some thumbs up. It helps us spot them a lot easier. You can also follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you in the next 2 weeks, because I will be out next week.